me where we stayed at? What? Okay, let me check. Good afternoon. You're right. It was the connectors and the modal verbs. Okay, let's give a minute to your classmates in order to connect, to finish connecting. You prepare with your material, with your notebook, because what I'm going to write is things. We're going to work with a whiteboard. It's not going to be with digital stuff, digital documents and practices and all of that. Well, actually we will, but it's going to be for homework, not for now.
Hi, teacher. Good morning.
Morning. Okay, we're just waiting your classmate, the rest of your classmates. Then we start. Okay. Rest of them. Okay, good. Let's start then. Let's begin with what's always the attendance. So let's see. Oh no, this is not the day. Today is Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday.
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. Let's see who's here. Dulce,
Present.
Judith,
Present.
Areli,
Here.
Hugo,
Good morning, teacher.
Ernesto,
Here.
Cesar,
Here.
Miguel. No,
Here,
Anaí.
teacher.
Okay,
Ahí, present.
good. Milagros,
Present.
Fabián,
Present.
Abril,
Present.
Dulce,
Present.
Daniela,
Present.
Greisa,
Present.
Michelle,
Present.
Leslie,
Present.
Alberto,
Present.
Jesús,
Presente.
Alan,
Present.
Saraí,
Present.
Airam, Mariela,
Present.
Lisette,
Present.
Alicia. No.
Present.
Ana Karen,
Here, present.
Right. Hugo,
Here.
Janet,
Here.
Here, teacher.
Benjamin,
Present.
and Ulises. Okay, Ulises not. Yes, everybody's here but two people. All right.
Teacher,
Let's begin
aquí
today with
estoy.
class.
Alicia.
Yeah, I told you that I could check at you.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, so, okay. I hope you have checked the document about the connectors and useful expression. We actually made an exercise on Monday. Now today is time to see second part, which is in this case the modal verbs. So I'm going to share my screen. And I will show you it. There you go. You can see it, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, so this is going to be a not hard class, neither it's going to be a long class. It's actually going to be really short. And I will leave some practice to you, some aspects that I want you to check. Right, so let's start with the topic, which is in this case, modal verbs. So to understanding the modals, or well, to remembering the modals, because you must know this, what is it about and what are them about for? Communicating, is that these verbs are considered as auxiliary verbs. What is an auxiliary verb? An auxiliary verb is a verb which has no action. Okay, it supports the action verb. Okay, so supports for what? Well, this is for giving another sense. Right, now the different senses we can include in the modal verbs are these ones. For example, we can find a future way, a future speech, the possibility speech. We can find empowering, technically, empowerment speech, and the other one is the obligation speech, right? So these are the mains. So these senses that we are talking about are these ones. That means that if we say something in a specific way, something with a normal action, if we add an auxiliary specifically modal verb, that action is going to take these senses are not going to stay in the same way. So saying of something simple like run, adding an auxiliary in this way with a modal, which can be, for example, a main, that run is not going to be just a run, okay, just activity of running. It's going to be a possibility to develop a running, to develop that action, to make a run. So that's how all of them work. That's something that you must know already. So for remembering this, okay, I would like you to tell me which are the modals, the most common modals that you remember. So on the future speech, which modal applies here? Which ones can we find here? So we can find will, and we can find also, and we also can find
Shall, no, really?
exactly.
Shall, okay.
That one, yes. The shall is going to be here. Now let's hit for the possibility speech. Well, let me color it for different. Which one will be in the possibility ones?
It
We find here.
May or might.
We find may, and we find might in this one, in these two. Sorry, in this one. Okay, let's continue with empowerment speech.
Have.
Which one?
Have and
No. Have her apply.
could, may.
Can and could.
Yeah.
Not may. Can and could. Okay. That's it. Right. Okay. We can include also could here. okay, in a certain way, because yes, we can. Sometimes it's used also for a possibility way. And obligation speech. Which one we find here?
Must.
Must and
We find must,
two.
have to, should, and there's one else.
Need to.
Which one?
Need to.
No, need
No.
is not technical one. No, need is a verb.
Okay. Might, teacher?
Nope, we already have might.
Okay.
There's another one that is considered a brother of the should.
Cool.
No, you don't get it. It's ought to. So these are there's another one, another category, which is in this case conditional, and the conditional speech uses another one that you know well, which is the would. But in this case, the would is just working with conditionals. That's why we don't include it too much here. So these are the normal models. Okay, the structure for using this is very, very simple. Exactly as the way as we use the do, the have, and the is or are. On another kind of what was the name? Another kind of structure, like for example, the perfects or the continuous. That exactly same way. That means that the models, okay, are placed as any other auxiliary verb, okay, between, well, here's another E, between the subject and the verb. Okay, there's a place where we have to post it, to paste it, or to set it. So this is a very easy topic because you just have to remember this. Okay, what kind of speeches each of these words refer to? So if I, for example, in a sentence, in a normal sentence that I will add, that can be, for example, I don't know, any kind of sentence, right? Like, for example, my dog, right? Or my brother. My brother go to school. Now, in a normal present, we know that normal present simple, it's for saying things that that occurs or happen constantly. No routines, some things that are constantly happening this way. We are going to change that by placing here the modal verb. So in this case, we are saying that, okay, is a routine of my brother. Okay, that's it. That's what is it. But if we add something else like my brother should go to school, we're saying exactly the same, but in a different sense. Now, in this case, it's not a routine. Okay, it's a suggestion. And that's what it's going to be changing, yeah, by using all of the models. So each model has their own meaning in English this way. Now, considering that, will and shall, oh, look, I got this. Will and shall are making sense of something happening in the future. And in the future, considering 100% true. May and might, this includes possibility. Now, the possibility is the same as future, but in a 50% of happening, not in 100%, 50%. So when we say may or might, technically we're saying something in future, but with less percentage of certainty that it's going to happen then. Now, on could can be used by a possibility, but it's not used too much in here. It's not used in here, in empowerment. Why? Because could gives a sense that you technically can. Okay? That it's possible for you. Possible to get the power to and to whatever else, all right? To do something, whatever. So that's why it's more like an empowerment than a possibility. Okay, so I'm going to erase technically from here. Now the empowerment speech is that one, and it's can. The can, it's that you have the power. Okay, so have the power to do whatever, okay, something. So what characterizes this, the empowerment speech, is that you got the power. Okay, it's possible to get the power. In this case, it's more like a possibility, but even so, you are saying that you got the power. That's it. Obligation speech. This obligation is, what is that? Obligation. But this moves in different levels of obligation. Now the levels grow in this way. Okay, as it goes less, it's less obligation. Less obligation. High obligation. Okay, so we divide that one in these three sections. Okay, so must, you have big obligation for doing that, and you have to do it. If you don't do it, there's no way that you cannot do it. Then you have to. It's a complete obligation for doing it. The have to is a less obligation because you can easily be out of that obligation. Well, not too easily, but you can get out of that obligation, and that's not going to be a big problem. It's important, okay? But you can go out, okay? Important is not the same as that you need to do it, okay? You are obligated to do it. And finally, on the last one, we find should or ought to. These are more suggestions. This is not an obligation, a high-grade obligation. It's a low-grade obligation. And this is more about suggestions. Okay, when someone suggests you to do something. If you don't do it, there's no problem. But it will be fine if you do it. So that's it, obligation stuff. Finally, we got the conditional speech, in this case, which is would. The would is funny because it's the would is like saying something like in Spanish, all right, applying the ending or the suffix. Yeah, suffix. Okay, ia. So any word that will have this auxiliary is going to be translated as that. Now, for example, saying for would play, that will make in this case in Spanish jugar, which is this one. Okay, let's erase this. Jugar, and would, which will be ia. Okay, and that's it. So these are the models. Now the problem is not understanding the models. The problem is to use the models actually in the best way, right? Each one of the models are used in different speeches, different things that you want to say correctly. For example, for using the future, it's not just a will. We have learned that every time you have to use will for expressing future, but no, future has different ways to express. One of that is also the use of the models may and might, but obviously in a less percentage of certainty that it will happen. In our way, right? So to apply an empowerment, you have to use can and could for making know that it's in your possibility, not your possibility, it's in your power to do something specifically. And that's it. That's what our models. But this is not the end of the topic. In this case, we will find another one, which are called the modal perfects or perfect modals. Okay. Now, if you have paid attention to other classes, to other English classes, what does the word perfect means in grammar? What does this word means in grammar? What is this? Remember also topics like, for example, the present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, or also, as we saw on the causatives, passive perfect also. So what means perfect in grammar? What means perfect in grammar? I listen to you, your theories. What means a perfect? What do you think it means perfect when you say something imperfect? What that means too? No? Nobody? Okay, I'm total silence, so I think that nobody knows it. So I will just explain that. The word perfect or the structure perfect that you must know at this point means before the event. This is very, very important and you must know this. This is a lesson for third grade or second grade. Okay, so means before the event. So what means if I say present perfect? What does the message means there? What the message means there on a present perfect? I cannot listen to you too much. There's a lot of sound. Yes, but I didn't ask that. I asked you what means then present perfect. That's harder. That's you're telling me when to use it. I'm not asking you when to use it or for what. No, I'm asking you what means present perfect. Grammarly. What means grammarly? No? No clue of that? I have just told you that perfect means before the event. So what means present perfect?
Do you want, teacher, the grammar of present perfect?
The meaning? What means? I'm telling you, present perfect. The word perfect means before the event. So what is present perfect?
Maybe it be should, hold on, mind.
What? No, dude. I'm telling you that perfect means before event. So if perfect means before event, what means then present perfect? It's logic. What?
Maybe.
It's what? I cannot understand you.
Happening in the moment. It's an action that is happening in the moment.
No. Come on. Can't you think logically? If perfect means before the event, then present perfect means before the present. Logics. Past perfect means before the past. Future perfect then?
Before the future.
Exactly, before the future. Come on, it's easy. Passive perfect technically is before the passive, but this has no sense. So we have to give a special time to passive. So before the present, if it's present passive. Okay, present before present, past, or future. That's a perfect. So again, applying logics, then what is modal perfects? What are modal perfects then? No, nothing? Again, logics. So before, so this is before the modal. That's it. It's easy. So technically, this is a meaning, but this is not exactly. So it's not going to be on that way. Why? Because modal is not a time. Modal is a word. So in this case, the perfect is going to take a sentence into the past tense. So modal perfects are past modals. And these are the ones that I want you to investigate and also to do exercises that I will tell you in this way. All right. So past modals. Each one of these changes. Each one of these changes depending on the perfect way that they are used. Because some of them, yes, some of them can be used in past, but some not, some cannot. Some are going to change totally the meaning, and some others cannot be used in past. Like, for example, which cannot be used in the past?
Will and shall.
Obviously, exactly, will and shall. Why? Because they are future. They're explaining future. So it's impossible to put will and shall into the past, right? So that's why they cannot. But the others can, surely. But the use of each one of them is going to be totally different in this, right? So what I want you to do, in this case, is homework, is to check. I'm going to tell you where to find it, right? So you're going to go to Google. You're gonna go to Google and you're gonna go into this web page, which is called just type perfect modal verbs. Okay, perfect modal verbs like this. You're gonna click on enter, and the first page, this one, okay, like lesson in English, modal perfects. Actually, this one, you're going to find it the topic explained very well. Now, here's in Spanish. Let's try to in English. As we saw in the initial lesson on modal verbs, these verbs express modality. That's what they express, such as possibility or probability. When used with the infinitive form of the present perfect, that means have plus past participle, modal verbs indicate speculation about things in the past. Now, the sense that the original modal verb we know in Spanish or we know in the present, we're going to put that on past tense. So, for example, could on past, can on past, what is could. Okay, can we put could in past? Yes, also we can do that, right? Could in past is not that you can have the power, is that you, in one moment of your past, you could have the power to do something, right? So that's the different things that that will adapt the different models. Same if I use, for example, the may have, right? So may is a possibility, future, 50%, right? But if I say may have, that is not a possibility now to the future. It was a possibility in some day, in some time, okay, in a specific time. For example, I may have gone to the concert, right? So that was a possibility on my past, but I didn't, right? So it's exactly the same, but put in past. And that's technically what is it about. Now, I suggest you to read this very well, very, very well, because I'm going to set examples like this on the next exam. To read well, what are their uses, their specific uses, when to use it, how to use it, and what meaning they give in Spanish also. And what I want you to do is to do these 3 exercises: the exercise 1, the exercise 2, and the unit test. How are you going to show it to me? Simple, by a printing page. Okay, not screenshot. Okay, no screenshot. Printing page. How can you do that? Simply, you go to your browser, you get on options, and you click here on print. Okay, here, this option, print. Right, so you're going to click in print, and in your computer, you have the option of saving it. I don't have it on my tablet. For saving this on my tablet, I have to click here and to be like to do more specific stuff here, right? But on your computer, there's an option which says save the images or save the web page in a PDF. You're gonna click in there after you finish answering this, okay? Right? It doesn't matter. I really don't care if you go wrong with the results. I never care about your grades in there, okay? What I want you to try it so we can analyze later why they were wrong or why were they right, right? So this is the one. I'm going to share you I'm going to share you this page, okay? So I'm going to click here and to send you by Telegram. Here is it, okay? There's a link. You can go in there. I want you to do it, and I want you to show it to me. The task will be posted on Moodle. Okay, so on Moodle, please upload the 3 documents: the document of the exercise 1, the document of the exercise 2, and the unit test. Now, the exercise 2 is more about rewriting. Okay, the sentences. It's easy. There are just 8 questions. And finally, the one of the unit test is technically the same on the last one. Okay, is also putting in the right order. I don't know if here was another kind of exercise, but I think this is the single one. Yes, I think this is the single one. Doesn't matter. Okay, but those 3 exercises, I want you to do it. Right? As I'm telling you, the difficult part is not the modal verbs. The difficult part is the modal perfects, because you are applying the modals into different way in past tense. And at our back on class on Monday, we are going to start using them on conversations. Okay, so I will prepare several scripts, and you will have to continue that conversation with specific or invented messages, right? Speeches in that way. I will tell you how it's going to be that activity. It will be oral activity. Yeah, speech activity. But meanwhile, please check this and do this exercise. All right. Does anyone has any questions about it?
No, teacher.
Are you sure? Present perfect? No. Perfect modals. I never said nothing about present perfect. Present perfect was just to say in an example.
Okay,
perfect modals. Yes? I shared the link on Telegram, so you don't have to go and find it. You can easily go on there. Right. Any other question from anyone else?
Yes, I have the problem with the Premiere, the paper. We can do take a screenshot and pay Word, and after improvement, because
No, it's not good. Screenshots pasted on Word are not good. Technical, not good. So just it's very easy, right? Try the exercise and just print it. Click on print. There's an option that says save this web page. Actually, it's the way in which I share you the content of Smart. Remember, you have some pages, some PDFs that I uploaded on Moodle of Smart. It's exactly the same way, right? The same process. Yes, it's easy to do it. You just need to be on your computer, obviously. In the tablet is harder, and the cell phone also is harder. Not impossible, but harder. Okay? You get it or not?
Yes, I got it.
Mm-hmm. Any other question?
Me, teacher.
Okay, tell me.
Bueno, ¿cuándo será el día que se subirá la actividad, profe?
What activity? This activity?
Yes, teacher, this activity.
Until tomorrow. You remember every homework is had to be done before the next class. Sorry, Monday, until Monday then.
That's Monday. Okay.
Until Monday. Yeah, I'm telling you the time you have until Monday in next class. That's the time. You want to see you want to see me doing that? I'm telling you when is the delivery. Okay, if you want to watch me doing it, fine, it's good. So here is it. As any other activity, as any other homework, okay, create this, and I set the due date, which is going to be on Monday, as I'm telling you. Monday 21. The time is going to be before class, so the time limit, as always, is 11:40. Right? Right. Any other question?
No, teacher.
You sure? Every homework has to be done before the next class. Every homework here on Moodle. If there's a homework about something else, like for example, bringing your opinion or doing something on your Excel, that doesn't need to be on that time, okay? Obviously, it needs to be before the class because most of the time we see that homework on the next class. We analyze the homework on the class. But those kind of homeworks has not a limit time to do it. The ones that are in Moodle, yes, always. This is the time always, okay? For not confusing them, for not giving another explanation for that, unless I tell you something different, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen for homeworks here in Moodle, right? So take that in count. Not to, but just because you have to remember. So just in order to remember it, right? And don't fall on the thing that, oh no, but I think that the Moodle homework is until the weekend. No, the homeworks on Moodle are always until the next class. Yes? Is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. That's it. So, okay, I have explained the homework. I have explained the topic that you need to analyze. What else? Nothing else, right? Be in contact on Telegram. I will tell you some stuff that I need there suddenly. And just that. That's all for the class.
Teacher, ¿vamos a subir las 3 actividades?
Yeah, the 3 activities on a PDF. Yeah, each activity must be on a PDF. I told you the process how to make it. Yeah, you click on print, and then you click on save, right? The printing, save the printing. It will save as a PDF, that printing.
Okay, teacher.
Fine. Okay, Alicia?
Yes.
Cool.